Hi, Josh Barker with Josh Barker Real Estate, and thank you for checking out our market update for the month of April 2022. Like we like to do each month, we're going to go ahead and break down the sales report for the Shasta County Multiple Listing Service. Now this will be for last month, for the month of March, and it breaks down the sales data for solds and for active listings. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in for you now. There was 321 properties that closed escrow in the month of March. If you go back 1 year ago to the very same month, there was 327 closings. So as you can see, the sales volume is very similar to what it was last year. Now here's where some of the changes are showing up. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the active inventory report. Now the active inventory report shows you how many homes are listed for sale, and it breaks them down by price range. At the bottom left, I'll circle this for you in red, there was 526 properties that are currently for sale in the market. If you go back 1 year ago in the same month, there was 455 properties for sale. So our inventory is up by just over 15% compared to last year. Now here's where the numbers get a bit more interesting. If you look at the sales price between 700 and 800,000, and I'll circle this for you in red, you'll see that there's 30 properties active for sale today, which is up from 13 last year at the same time. That's a 130% increase in home inventory. If I go to the next price point of 600 to 700,000, there was 47 properties available for sale right now compared to 36 last year. That's a 30% increase in inventory. And then if you look between 5 and 600,000, there's 103 properties for sale currently, and that's up from 61 a year ago. That's a 68% increase in inventory. So as you can see, in that higher price point above 500,000, we're beginning to see our inventory grow even larger than it was last year. Now, a big question that a lot of folks are asking, and I'll kind of put in the slide there to support this, is that people are kind of wondering, is there a housing bubble forming? In fact, as you can see in the slide, 77% of all consumers surveyed claim that they are concerned about a bubble, whereas about 44% of all agents are worried about a bubble as well. But here's what we do know. If you look at the lending standards over the past 15 years, and I'll bring the slide in here so you can see it. If you go back to the 2004, 2005, 6, and 7, near that housing bubble, you can see that the lending standards were extremely loose, and that the availability of credit was extremely high. And so darn near anybody who wanted to purchase a home had the ability to do so on some different types of loan products. Now, if you fast forward to today and you look at the types of loans that are available, you can see how that line really flattens out. And what that's demonstrating is that lending guidelines currently are much tighter than they were in years past. And so although we might be moving towards the later stages of an appreciation cycle, it clearly demonstrates that the lending standards are not so loose, and that's not what's causing prices up at this point. The next thing to look at is the inventory of homes is a lot different than it was before. If you look back at 2007, 8, 9, and 10, you can see that there was 9.6, 9.4, 7.3, 8.5 months supply of homes for sale. Currently, if you look at what's available in our local market, you can see that our absorption rate, the amount of homes for sale, is roughly a 1.8 month supply of homes for sale. So we're still clearly in what's called a seller's market. Anything between 0 and 3 months supply tends to be a seller's market. 4 to 5 months supply tends to be a neutral market. And 6 months or more tends to be what we call a buyer's market. And again, we're sitting right around that 1.8 month supply, which clearly puts us in a seller's market overall. The next slide to look at is that the amount of properties that are being funded with credit scores, or I'm sorry, the types of loans that are funded with credit scores that are below 620. If you were to go back to 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, you can see there was a massive increase in people that were purchasing homes with credit scores that were less than 620. If you fast forward to today, and you can see in this graph how far down that is, what that's representing is that very few borrowers are purchasing homes right now with a credit score lower than 620. So we have buyers that have stronger credit currently moving into these properties. We have tighter lending guidelines overall, and we actually have an absorption rate that's much lower than it was the last time this market shifted. So, just kind of bringing out some of the elements to this, because a lot of folks are asking, will there be a crash? And The reality is a lot of experts are saying that based on what they see, that our markets are probably moving into a more balanced market and that we're going to start to see things plateau as a result, and that in some cases, there maybe in some price points, we might soften up a bit, but that foreclosure market that was created by bad lending standards, the markets we've all heard about of 2005, 6, 7, 8, and 9, a lot of those types of issues that were causing that have already been either, they're not even allowed to be operating anymore, and we don't see those types of programs available in the market today. The last thing to touch on is just mortgage interest rates. If there's anything that's continuing to change, and it's changed even since our last market update with you folks here on this video, right now interest rates are averaging just below 5%. Now this is up almost a 2% increase since the end of last year. Now keep in mind, for every 1% that the interest rate goes up, it can have an impact on a borrower's purchasing power by up to 10%. So we are seeing that play through in our markets right now. And unfortunately, as interest rates continue to increase, if what the Federal Reserve claims they're going to do, if that actually comes to fruition, then as we see rates increasing, we're going to see even fewer people qualify to purchase because they'll simply get priced out of the market. So something that all of us will have to keep an eye on. But in any case, if you have any questions at all regarding the market here in Shasta County, just know we're always here to help. I would like to thank all of you again for taking your time with us today. Make it a great day.